What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about if the drum gun is worth using this season, and kind of more broadly, just if SMGs are worth using in season 2, specifically in zero build. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below which you prefer to use, an AR or an SMG. And it might kind of feel strange for some of you to kind of be comparing these two weapons, because a very generic, like broad loadout in Fortnite for oftentimes would be like AR, shotgun, SMG, and then either double heals or heals and mobility, right? But with chapter 5 thus far, snipers have played a huge role in kind of just the game in general, but like the meta of the game, the loadouts people are running. The snipers are very, very, very good right now. So do you want to use 4 guns? Probably not. So a lot of people choose to cut the SMG and then run shotgun, AR, sniper. And then that works quite well for kind of covering all your bases, especially since we had auto shotguns and spammy shotguns be dominant thus far in chapter 5. But I feel like because of how good snipers are, you could also just slot an SMG in that second slot and do just fine and run like shotgun, SMG, sniper. There wasn't as much of a reason to do this last season, but with the gatekeeper shotgun, having an SMG backup and having a little more viability in close range from your spray weapon, I think is more valued this season than last. So with the current meta, like I said, pretty much everybody is going to be carrying a sniper or DMR for long ranges. So you don't really need your AR for really long range anyways, if you are someone who snipes a lot. And that will kind of be the main thing you need to consider when making this decision is how often do you snipe and what ranges do you snipe at? Because if you're someone who only snipes when the opponent is like super far, 100+ meters away, then you'll definitely miss the range of the AR. But if you're someone who snipes a lot, even in kind of like close to medium range, whenever you're playing off cover and have the time to do so, then you probably won't really mind having a little less range on your spray weapon. And I think the SMGs this chapter have been very good, especially the ones in the game right now. The burst SMG is insane. The drum gun is good. And then the Harbinger SMG, I haven't liked as much as others, but a lot of people seem to really like that weapon. And I think you can slot all of them into, your AR slot if you're someone who snipes a lot. If you only snipe really far away, like I said, then you'll probably just use the AR and you'll be happy. But for me, I'm someone in that second case for sure, where I snipe pretty much any time I have cover. And I think it's beneficial to do so because you're exposing yourself for such a limited period of time and dealing a large amount of damage. You can peek for a fraction of a second, throw out a headshot insta-kill, and it's GG's. Or throw out 100+ damage body shot and then translate that into a close range fight, And with more and more people sniping, more and more people kind of have to snipe, because if you're just like peeking, spraying with an AR, then you getting sniped, you're making yourself an easy target to get sniped, and anyone decent at sniping is probably just going to delete you because there isn't really flinch on the snipers if they're shot. And so now you might be asking yourself, like, for sure, the downside of using an SMG might not be that large because I'm going to be sniping anyways, but why would I even want to? And the main reason would be the close to medium range advantage you get, and the fact that the SMG is better for following up a shotgun, which I kind of already touched on. It didn't matter as much last season, but if you like using the gatekeeper shotgun this season, its main weakness is its magazine size, because it has only 3 by default and 5 with the drum mag. And I think 3 is enough to get the job done, in most situations, and 5 should be more than enough. But like in team game modes especially, if you knock a player and then only have, 2 shots left to maybe finish off their teammate, it might not be enough, And going to the Warforged AR, it's okay at spraying, but like any of the SMGs are probably going to be better in that situation, And even in solos, like if you get third partied, then like having the gatekeeper shotgun can be like somewhat of a liability, Like 5 should be enough, but like you guys know how kind of inconsistent the shotguns can be, or how unforgiving they can be at times. And so if anything goes wrong, you have like thin margins as far as like having anything go wrong. Using the frenzy auto shotgun and a shot or two you miss, or a shot or two you get like subpar damage out of, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're using the gatekeeper shotgun and you miss a shot or two, or you get like not great damage out of a shot or two, or you get third partied, there's just a lot of things that can go wrong. And I definitely felt more confident using the gatekeeper shotgun when I had an SMG than when I had an AR, whether it was the drum gun, the Thunderburst SMG, or the Harbinger SMG. I like using the gatekeeper shotgun with only 3 rounds felt a lot, like I just felt more confident doing so. It felt a lot easier. And for a lot of the game, you don't have access to a mod bench because they only open up in third zone, right? So sure, get the drum mag. It makes the gun a lot better. But that time up to the point where you have a drum mag, I felt, again, a lot more confident having the SMG and being able to swap to a weapon that I have confidence in close range than swapping to the Warforged AR. And I really, really like the Warforged AR as an AR. But as a spray weapon, like as an SMG replacement to follow up my shotgun, I haven't liked it as much. And so, yeah, if you're someone who's in that same boat where like you really like using the gatekeeper shotgun, but you don't like its mag size and you've been losing games where you have to swap to the Warforged AR, and you're someone who snipes a lot anyways, like the effective range between an AR and SMG isn't going to be that big of a deal if you're someone who snipes a lot. The only times when I was using these SMGs that I really missed having an AR would be like times where I body somebody with a snipe that's like decently far away. Like if they're like 60, 70 meters away and you body them. Normally, if you have an AR, you could just swap to it and get the easy finish. But with the SMG, you can definitely do that, but it's a little less convenient to do so. You know what I mean? And then also anybody using mobility, like if somebody shockwaves, if somebody uses wings, I would rather have the AR to try to shoot them out of the sky. If someone's in a car, I would much rather have the Warforged AR to try to beam someone out of a vehicle, especially like a G-Wagon driving away from me. I've had good amount of success just frying people out of it with the Warforged AR and not as much with the SMGs. And then also, if you're someone who's been dealing with the lightning a bunch and you have a hard time dealing with that, if you have somebody go up into the sky a decent range away, like sniping at them can get the job done. But for a lot of people who are like going to be nervous and kind of panicking in that situation, any missed shot just kind of griefs your game, you know? So a lot of people are going to go to the AR, and the SMG could still be great at that fight, but like the AR is probably just going to win in that range versus the lightning a lot more than the SMG will, if that makes any sense. So I think the SMGs are good. They're not, you know, just perfect with no downside. And then the same is true of the AR. Like it's good, but I didn't like it as much for following up the gatekeeper shotgun if needed, which is going to be a problem a lot, especially in team modes, but even just getting third-partied chaotic situations and solos happen. And then there's times where the SMG wasn't as good, mainly at dealing with players using mobility, using vehicles, or potentially using the lightning. But I think both playstyles can be very good, and it just kind of depends on the player and kind of what your skill set is. Also, if you just want to mix it up and kind of try a different playstyle to, you know, freshen the game up a bit and make it fun using different weapons and using some of these newer weapons, then I think try using any of the SMGs or even the pistol in place of an AR. I think they're really solid, and if you like sniping a lot anyways, like a lot of players do recently, you're not going to miss the range that much, and you just get better at close range and you get better at dealing with the weakness of the gatekeeper shotgun, which should, I think, lead to you winning more close range fights and more games. But that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, which you prefer, using an AR or using an SMG. I think both are viable, and a lot of people are kind of sleeping on these SMGs. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, sub if you like some more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.